everybody, happy weekend. Now, as promised, I am back with another South London video, and today I am looking around Streatham, and this is actually where I live. I've lived here for nearly 3 years. It is kind of between Tooting, Brixton and Clapham, and one of my favourite places in Streatham is Streatham Common and the Rookery, which is just behind me. And near the Rookery they quite often have events, and today they've got the Rookery dog show, which I'm very excited about. One of my favourite things is to come down and basically look at other people's dogs. So let's go and take a look. So the common, of course, used to be common ground or common land for people to graze their animals. And there's a few relics of this, like the trough just behind me. And the dog show is already well underway and it's absolutely brilliant. They've got categories like waggiest tail and dog that looks like its owner. The area that I've come into now is called the Rookery, and this used to be the gardens for a large property known as the Rookery as well. And this used to be called the Streatham Spa, and supposedly locals would come in here to drink the water on the ground for its medicinal properties, but I don't really know if I fancy doing that anymore. I'm just coming now into Streatham Common Community Garden, which is open to the volunteers every day, but to the public on Wednesday and Sunday. And they grow all sorts here, from garlic to mulberry. I know they've got a 200-year-old mulberry tree, which actually is where they get the fruit from for a nearby brewery. So I'm going to have a little wander around and see what they've got going on today. So this used to be part of the vegetable gardens for the Rookery, the big house. And now they do actually sell quite a lot of fruit and vegetables and herbs to the public. I did buy some sage from here a while ago. I've got a very meagre herb garden back at my house. I am walking towards something in Streatham that I haven't been to before. Not because I haven't wanted to go, but basically it's just too popular. And this is the Spot Brewery, which is right next to the Rookery. And it's a local brewery, as you might have guessed, serving lots of different beers. And then about once a month they do a thing called Shutters Up, where they open up tables to the public. You can come in, have some food. They have food cooked up as well. It's always really popular. I have arrived at Spot Brewery. It is heaving, which is always a good sign, and I'm starting with one of their Mulberry Beers, and the fruit comes from the mulberry tree, which is just over there, which is brilliant. They're keeping everything local, and they do actually have a beer called Streatham, which for the uninitiated is what a lot of people try to pretend that Streatham is called, perhaps to make it sound fancier. I'll tell you what, the smells coming off the grill over there are just insane. Delicious smoky smells. And this is the perfect day for it. It's 26, 27 degrees, which for those of you that are not in London, this is not our average temperature, but we do very much appreciate it when it gets to this temperature. So can you tell me what Spot means?
Yeah, sure. So it's from a military strategy in the 50s, where they used to put a small patrol of men with a local tribe. You try and win their hearts and their minds follow. So it's a counter-insurgency. We're trying to do it with beer. So you drink our beer, tell your friends about our beer, win your hearts and their minds through the beer, and your influence starts to spread. It's called Ink Spot strategy because all the ink spots start to merge into one another and end up merging global domination basically through beer.
Well, I just tried some very lovely beers. The Mulberry Sour, and then also a Lotus Biscoff, which was so chocolatey, delicious. It tasted like dessert. And it's just such a lovely company. 2 guys running it, and they were just explaining to me how important the community is to them. Without them, they wouldn't be here, and it's just so nice to see it all being so busy, everyone happy. They do themed events throughout the year, and it definitely will not be my final visit. So just round the corner from Streatham Common is Norwood Grove, which is this grassy area around me. And just behind me is a 200-year-old mansion or manor house, which was given to the first Earl of Portland by King Charles II. And this area is not particularly well used, considering how pretty it is. And they seem to have turned the mansion house into a kindergarten or nursery. Is this video just turning into an excuse for me to go and have a drink in a few different places? Possibly. But I did also want to show you one of the coolest pubs in Streatham. This is the Rabbit Hole, which is actually run by a friend of mine, and the interiors are just so cool. All of these old Chesterfields, lots of antique furniture as well, and then all around the walls it's decorated incredibly. All has some Wonderland theme. We've got the Mad Hatter, the White Rabbit. Cheers! I am walking now down Streatham High Road, which I have been told repeatedly is the longest high street in the UK. So it's got a lot going for it. There's lots of cafes, lots of restaurants, there's loads of North African cafes, which is great. There's Brazilian delis, and also Streatham used to be called the West End of the South, and there's actually a lot of beautiful listed buildings here, theatres and all sorts, and some of them now are bingo halls and Marks and Spencer's, but there are some groups that are trying to raise money to set these back to their former glory. Well, I've had a very lovely day full of dogs, beer, and now cake as well. And I do urge you to come and visit Streatham. It's often overlooked in the south, but I love it personally. Hope you've enjoyed the video, guys, and make sure to subscribe.